Not only do we have a lot of news today, we have a pretty good variety as well. There's also a really infuriating story about Biden and the strategic oil reserve. There's also a really infuriating petroleum reserve, shall I say, about Biden and the strategic oil reserve. There's also a really infuriating petroleum reserve, shall I say, about Biden and the strategic oil reserve. There's also a really infuriating petroleum reserve, shall I say, about Biden and the strategic oil reserve. There's also a really infuriating petroleum reserve, shall I say, about Biden and the strategic oil reserve. There's also a really...
Yeah, D-Live is good. Good.
Creating petroleum reserve, shall I say, about Biden and the strategic oil reserve. There's also a really...
All right, that was a snafu. A lot of seasoned pixels there. Let's turn down the music a little bit. There we go. Little pre-roll with seasoned pixels there, but like 8 times. Kind of not on purpose. Kind of lazy on my part, my bad. Yeah, we're in the pre-roll, or whatever we want to call it. We got a D-Live viewer. Oh, we had one. That was probably me. All right, in 2.5 minutes, we'll get rolling. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Shut up and sit down.
A minute and 20 seconds left. About a minute left. Half a minute. Twenty seconds.
Romantic, isn't it? Shut up and sit down.
1 part bread, 1 part pill. This is the Bread Pill Weekly. You've been red pilled, now be the red pill.
Here we go. No. So many things wrong. There we go. Welcome. This is episode 25. July 8th of the Bread Pill Weekly, part of the G. Ross channel. At least that's how it's known on the Foxhole. I'm your host, G. Ross. Your co-host, normally right here, is having a fun summer Friday, playing video games with his friends. Angular, that's his name. Let us start, like we do every show, with a Bible reading. Our Wednesday night show just ended chapter 3. Verse 6. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate. That's where we stopped on Wednesday. Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central. Usually spend about an hour and a half in the Word. And that's where we ended. Right at the moment where it goes from the one state to the next. Right at that moment, we stopped. I had prepared like 5 more verses, but we stopped there because it was 90 minutes in and I was getting tired. And it's like, cliffhanger. Everything was great, and now something happened. It's an interesting thing to walk through that thing. You see it starting to arrive. Like here in verse 1, the serpent said, "Is this true?" We had seen antithesis in the text before this, where it would say not. So an idea, the opposite. So this isn't the first time we're seeing an antithesis, but this is the first time where we're seeing an antithesis postulated as an alternate reality. So the system is perfect, and it's running. And here comes the serpent, and he goes, evaluate this truth statement. So then you'll notice here, oh, you can't see the text. Hang on, let me change the screen. Oh, silly me. Here I am looking at the screen, thinking you can see it. So here, the woman, as a representative of the designer of the system, is like, yeah, we can eat any tree we want except the fruit of the tree that's in the middle of the garden. We're not even going to touch it. The system's still maintaining order. Now the serpent says, after showing that the serpent knows how to propose an antithesis as reality. Man, I should have said all this the other night on Wednesday. I should have said all this. Anyway, the serpent said a true, actual antithesis. He's like, you will not die. Well, that's the opposite of what the Creator said. Now, the rest of this may be true. God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. That's not necessarily a good thing. Like, it could be panic eyes. Like, what's this, all this stuff? You'll be like God, knowing good and evil. Still, the system has not actually finished evaluating the antithesis here. You will not die. You will not die. You should make a different decision. You should make a different decision. So the woman saw the tree was good for food. It was delight to the eyes. The tree was a desire to make one wise. She took of its fruit and ate. She also gave some to her husband who was with her. And he processed the antithesis statement as reality. He tried it on as an actuality. He goes, and that's when the system goes, clang, clang, cannot compute, cannot compute. Both realities cannot coexist. We'll leave it at that. Today's not a Bible show. Green Dragon 64 says, yo, G, what up, brother? Green Dragon 64, we're just starting with a little dash of what we did Wednesday, but we're really going to the news now. We don't have our co-host Angular. I'm sort of consciously slow walking the first few minutes of the show because it's a summer Friday at 5:30. Rough time slot. I mean, it was set in stone. It was set in the cards. Speaking of stone, man, we got so much news. A lot happens in a week, doesn't it? But first, we need to ban YouTube. Let me explain why. We're going to ban YouTube. Why? Because they want to ban us. This link that I just put in the chat, YouTube said, hey, warning, and you only get one. Next, you're going to be banned for a week. After that, it gets worse. And I'm like, I'm not even going to mess with it. I already know I sourced all the material. It's all from mainstream sources, left-leaning sources. Not even going to care. So when it comes to the Friday news show, YouTube, you are banned. But first, let's tell everybody where they can go besides YouTube. You can go to Facebook. You can go to Foxhole. These chats are in the YouTube chat. Or you can go to DLive. All right, now we can ban YouTube in 3,